Welcome back.
James McAvoy.
I'm leaving it in. Welcome back to Slushie Review. This is Keith.
And this is James McAvoy. No, it's Chris. Surprise, bitch.
Surprise guest host, Chris Richards. Also, every guest show. We're back today reviewing X-Men First Class, the most famous of James McAvoy's films. And
someone does bend a bullet in this one, too.
Right into his back.
Right into his fucking spine.
Good fucking times. Yeah, old wheels. Anywho. So we're continuing our X-Men franchise. The last X-Men video movie we did was X-Men Wolverine. The Wolverine, which was pretty good if I remember correctly. Mm-hmm. We've done all the Marvel stuff so far. So we're going to finish up this X-Men stuff until the next Jurassic Park comes out.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next Marvel. And then anything after that?
Like coming out?
Mm-hmm.
Bullet Train.
Do you
want to do that one?
Yeah,
Can we do that one?
Yeah,
I want to.
Yeah, Bullet Train. When does that come out, though?
July.
Oh, okay, so July.
I want to say the 20-something, so like mid to late July.
Okay, cool.
I do want to see that one because I know we talked about a couple movies that we didn't end up going to see. I kind of would like to see.
Yeah, but that one actually looks.
It looks entertaining.
It looks way more entertaining than the ones we didn't see. Like, because we didn't see Free Guy. Free Guy was the only one that we didn't see, right?
Free Guy we didn't see in the theaters. It wasn't bad. It wasn't what I was expecting.
It wasn't that great. It was okay.
Yeah, it wasn't great. It wasn't terrible.
It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great. Which one movie is this?
First Class.
First Class.
And no class.
That's us.
Like school in the summer. No class.
Let's take a minute from our sponsors, us, and we'll be right back. Thank you for listening. We definitely appreciate it. Make sure you follow us at Slushie Review on Twitter at Slushie Review. You can also check us out on YouTube. Just search Slushie Review. We pop up. We're the first result. And then check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. And also, coming soon, Instagram. Follow us on IG.
The gram.
At Slushie Review Podcast.
Yes.
We just started it. Need some followers. Need some likes. All right, welcome back. Let's go with the cast of X-Men First Class with Chris.
All right. X-Men First Class. We have James McAvoy as Charles Xavier. He's on here, so I'm going to say it. Lawrence Belcher as Charles Xavier as a child. Michael Fassbender as Eric Lencher, Magneto. Bill Milner as young Eric Lencher, pre-Magneto. Kevin Bacon as Sebastian Shaw. Rose Byrne as Moira McTaggart, not Scottish in this one. J. Law, Jennifer Lawrence as the star of this picture, if you believe the advertising, as Mystique.
I feel like she wasn't even that big of a deal in this movie.
No.
The next movie,
Not important. I did it for the other ones. Morgan Lilly as young Mystique, young Raven. Then we have Oliver Platt as Man in Black Suit. They're really throwing out names for these people. Oliver Platt's a G-Man. I didn't realize he didn't have a name.
I didn't either. I thought he was actually a big character.
Yeah. Alex Gonzalez as Riptide, Handsome Tornado. Jason Fleming as Azazel. Zoe Kravitz as Angel Salvador. January Jones as Emma Frost / not, they don't call her this, but the White Queen. This is another thing that she's known as the character.
Yeah, what did you call her?
Yeah.
Before that?
What?
Did you say her name?
Emma Frost?
Before, her real name.
January Jones?
Oh, I thought you said something different.
What?
I don't know.
Oh.
Maybe you didn't.
I don't think
I wouldn't, because I was reading, I was like, is he not going to say her name?
I don't think I did. Okay. Nicholas Hoult as Hank McCoy / Beast. Caleb Landry Jones as Cassidy / Banshee. Is it Eddie? I'm gonna go with Eddie. Gathegi as Darwin. Lucas Till as Alex Summers / Havoc. Not important. Don Creech as William Stryker. His son.
I don't think he's supposed to be William Stryker.
Well, I'm guessing it's supposed to be like William Stryker Sr.
Okay,
because they only called him Stryker, and then they said, "How's your son, William?"
Yeah, because he mentioned his son,
Yeah.
which was I didn't catch when the first time I watched it.
Charles read his mind and got his son's name. A lot of Germans, a lot of Russians.
Can I mention one?
Who?
U.S. General James
Oh.
Raymond. I did not realize that was him, but
Yep,
he
I just
did
got
look
to him.
familiar.
Oh.
What?
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you know who that is? James Raymond.
No.
Oh, you click on him, Chris.
Is he in Mortal Kombat?
He was in Mortal Kombat.
Hang on, I'm getting there. Well, I know he wasn't fucking Raiden, so that automatically lets him off the hook a little bit. Wait, was he in Mortal Kombat Annihilation? Mm-hmm. So he was Raiden.
He was exactly rated.
Because it was a different actor.
He was definitely rated, yeah.
God.
He was rated. I can't believe you don't remember him when he came out with the
Why would I
haircut.
want to remember that?
Listen, he was the best. I
not
was
your-
because we made a point. He was like, this white guy is. There's two white guys playing an ancient Chinese guy.
Yeah, two different white guys.
Two different white guys.
Maybe that's why I didn't remember him, because the first one was more memorable for being bad. Yeah, this is not your world, sorcerer.
Sorry, that took way longer than it should have.
No,
but
that's
was good.
hilarious.
It was good. I
'Cause
think
that's not who I thought you wanted me to.
I know. Now I realize
Because
who
now who I thought you were trying to get me to say, I was like, that's not his name. Because I'm looking right at him. It's Michael Ironside
Micro. Yeah, Ironside. Yeah,
as Captain. That's it. Just Captain. Just Captain.
So it's funny because the first thing I've ever seen him in was Total Recall.
Yep.
That's what
I'm gonna say Starship Troopers, Total Recall.
he was in fucking Top Gun. Like, goddamn.
He was in something I watched fairly recently.
He was a nobody.
Yep.
He's also Darkseid in Harley Quinn, the TV show. Cartoon.
Haven't watched that.
Yeah, me neither.
Nor will I.
He's also Darkseid in Lego DC Supervillains.
I see that.
Oh, look at this guy.
He's getting some work.
Yeah.
I can't be mad at him. They say the first thing, the first movie I've ever seen that I knowingly have seen him in would be Total Recall.
Yeah.
Because I saw that way before I saw it.
He was a 3-eyed dude, I think. Or no, that was like the little guy.
that was Hank from Breaking Bad, who was also in wasn't he also in
Total Recall?
The one with the bugs, it's Starship Troopers. Wasn't he in both of those?
I think so.
Because he was the 3-eyed guy, or he was like the guy, one of the Martian mutants with the eyeball.
Yeah, you're right.
I think wasn't
I don't know who he was then.
Michael Ironside in Total Recall. Yeah, he was Richter.
Richter.
He ripped his arms off on the elevator.
Oh yeah.
He's like, I'm gonna blow this place sky high and be home in time for cornflakes.
Hilarious. I haven't seen that movie in forever.
And then Arnold dangled him off the elevator as the shaft started catching up to him, and he ripped his arms off. He said, "I'll see you at the potty, Richter." He didn't.
No, that's funny.
There was no party either. I don't know what that line was.
See,
The movie was great.
I know I haven't seen it in a minute.
But that's the cast. That's the cast of X-Men First Class.
Okay.
So I'll throw. Oh wait, no, one more.
One more.
In a blink and you'll miss it cameo, Rebecca Romaine as older Mystique.
Oh well, if that's the case, you forgot somebody.
Who else did I miss?
The only person that you remember being in this movie. Cameo.
Oh, fuck me.
I'm okay, but go ahead.
Hubert Jackman. Hugh Jackman as Wolverine.
Hugh did it.
Hugh. Fuck you. No, fuck you. No, fuck you, Larry. Fuck you.
So, to be fair,
I missed him. Thank you for that.
you're welcome. I wonder if this is the same guy. There's somebody else in here too.
Who?
Uncredited. But let me make sure it's him before I say anything. It's gotta be. It's gotta be him. So they had footage of what's his name? Kennedy talking.
Mm-hmm.
And his voice looks like the guy from...
Is he the impressions guy from Parks and Rec?
Isn't he the news guy? Yeah. I am not a crook. Yeah, that guy.
I think it's him.
I'm almost certain that's him.
I think it's
He was also in fucking How the Grinch Stole Christmas as the officer, and he looks familiar. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's him, right?
It certainly looks like him. I'm looking right now. Yep. Parks and Rec, 7 episodes. Mark
I knew
Mosley.
it. Yeah. Fucking hilarious.
Megan's been watching a lot of Criminal Minds lately,
Oh, yeah.
and one of the fucking reasonable lists was in the episode she had on the other day, the cult, the Zorb cult.
Oh, yeah.
Like the main guy.
You take a check?
Idiots.
All right.
Yeah, now that's the cast.
All right, let's do this plot. Pretty simple. We know what X-Men are, so this is more or less a prequel. This is not on this. This is on the same timeline as the X-Men, but then it gets changed in the next movie. So it's on the timeline, but it's also not on the same timeline. So we know what X-Men are. So we follow a young, almost a shot-for-shot remake of Eric Lenscher at 1944 Poland. Is that where Auschwitz is? Is that where they were? I have no idea.
I don't know. I don't know specifically the location, but I know it's. I mean,
well, he was being captured by Nazis, and then he found out his powers. And then Kevin Bacon, who is Sebastian Shaw, tries to exploit these powers because he also has powers, but you don't know that until later in the movie. He kills Magneto's mom in front of Magneto to unleash his powers, which he does. And then we see a young Charles Xavier with a bat. He gets up as a child to stop an intruder, and his mom is in the kitchen. He's like, "Mom, I thought you were an intruder." And she's like, "You want me to make some hot chocolate?" And he's like, "I know you're not my mom." He's like, "My mom has never set foot in this kitchen." Blah, blah, blah. Whatever. It turns out to be a young Mystique, and then they become brother and sister through osmosis, I guess. And we grow up with them, and then we find a young Magneto, but an older Magneto, like a 20-year-old Magneto, on his Punisher quest, and is killing everybody who is involved with Nazis. I think it's admirable. I'm cool with it. So then the world doesn't know about mutants yet, and then they kind of find out about mutants through Charles Xavier, Mystique, and everybody kind of meets, and they form like the first X-Men team, and they have to stop the war that Sebastian Shaw is starting between the Russians and the United States. And to stop that war, they have to get Sebastian Shaw, the X-Men, the first wave of X-Men, who is comprised of Charles Xavier, Magneto, Mystique, Beast, Havoc, Banshee,
Darwin.
And no, Darwin's dead. Yeah, Darwin's dead. The survivability guy is not. He didn't survive.
He tried. He tried.
And then I think that was it.
Angel abandoned them.
Yeah, she abandoned the team, and she didn't die, but she did, I guess. The other guy died somehow too. Riptide.
Oh, Magneto dropped the side of the fucking
I guess he
submarine
did.
on him.
How
No,
does-
no, he teleported away with him, didn't he? Magneto, Azazel, Mystique. I thought the tornado guy teleported away with them. I thought pretty much and Angel. I thought like all of the ones who pretty much were with
maybe.
Shaw were just like, yeah, we're just
Maybe.
with you now.
They just stopped doing anything at one point, so I guess.
But then they don't show up again. So,
No, they don't.
anywho,
So that's basically the thing. It's basically the Cold War before the Cold War back in the 70s. And there's mutants involved. That's pretty much it. Honestly, it's a loose story. It's about revenge and him killing Sebastian Shaw. And it also shows Magneto's turn. To be fair, though, he was never a good guy. But he was never a bad guy.
yeah,
He was more of an anti-hero.
yeah.
So, that's it. For me.
All right,
Let's get to some likes.
let's do it.
You go first.
Okay, my first one is Michael Fassbender as Magneto.
Same.
I thought he was good.
He was good.
I haven't seen this generation of X-Men movies in a long time. So I'll just say it. I've forgotten quite a bit of it. I forgot how good he was
He's so good.
because I love Ian McKellen as like old Magneto,
Fair.
who's just like, yeah, I'll get my hands, like I'll dirty my hands, but I'm not gonna be the one in the machine.
Fuck no.
That one. This Magneto is killer.
He's hunting down
He's
Nazis.
hunting Nazis, and it was cool.
It
Because,
was.
for one, that's always cool. Killing Nazis is always cool.
Killing Nazis.
Business is booming. They did it in the first movie, the first X-Men movie, and they did it in this one. The scene of him getting ripped away from his parents, which I'm not sure if that is the exact same scene from the first X-Men movie.
Don't know.
It looked like it. If you played them side by side, I'd have a better idea. Internet search might tell me one way or the other, but it looked really close.
It looked
It's
like
probably on purpose.
a shot-for-shot remake.
It really did. But
Kind of like the Resident Evil movies and games. Go ahead, sorry. I got you off track. I'm sorry.
yeah. I don't even have time to tell you how wrong that you are.
It's gonna bug me if I
It's
don't.
gonna bother me if I don't.
I saw that. I saw that episode.
Oh, no, I'm gonna let that go. We'll get there off the air. No, the whole that scene in general is already good. It's a powerful scene. It's a great scene. But this movie expands on that further by Kevin Bacon, Sebastian Shaw, is not a Nazi, but he's using their resources.
He's working with them.
He's working with them to look for mutants, apparently, and other people, because he's a mutant. We don't know it at that point. We don't know that he's a mutant yet. But he's looking for people with abilities. He notices Magneto. He notices Eric. And is like, puts a coin on his desk. Says, on the count of, I'm going to count down from 3. Move the coin. He tries. He can't. Okay. Rings a bell. 2 armed soldiers, Nazi soldiers, bring in his mother. On the count of 3, you're gonna move the coin. Or I'm gonna pull the trigger on this gun. I'm gonna kill your mother. Counts down, and you can't move it. Kills his fucking mother.
Yep.
And when he called in the soldiers, he rings this little bell. That bell collapses on itself. The file cabinet behind him collapses. The room that you didn't see, you did not see the room at first. The entire room. You just saw Eric standing in front of Kevin Bacon's desk. When this camera shoots from a different angle, you see a whole wall on another room on another side of like a painted glass window, and it is just saws and tools and metal torture devices and tables and everything. All of those things just start like shaking and flying around the room, and he's going ape shit. And I thought that scene was great.
That scene is amazing.
And I think the fact that he kills him with the coin at the end of the movie.
Perfect.
And says exactly, he's like, on the count of 3, I'm going to move the coin. And just fucking like shoots it through his head like in slow-mo. And that was good.
Perfect and Schlot.
And also, he looks sweet in that fucking helmet.
Who?
Magneto.
Same.
The helmet looked good.
It looked good on him.
It looked good. Yes, Kevin Bacon looked like a fucking skeleton person.
Like a toddler.
He looked like a goblin. Like a goblin.
And I think that was on purpose because
it wasn't meant for him.
It wasn't meant for him.
It
and
was
I was
his,
like,
but that's not his helmet.
Exactly. I think if I had to guess, they made it for what's his name?
Michael Fassbender.
Michael Fassbender.
Yeah.
And they let Kevin Bacon wear it.
Yeah.
Because when he put it on, I mean, it was perfect.
Yeah, when Kevin Bacon put it on, he looked like a
pig. It was almost over his eyes.
He looked like a pig in a helmet.
Yeah, I guess.
And Michael Fassbender put that helmet on, he looked like fucking Magneto.
He looked like Magneto.
So he looked sweet in that helmet. He caught all those fucking missiles. I don't know if I can stop them all, Charles. Clearly that was a fucking bluff. That was already a bluff in the first fucking movie. He was like, I can't stop them all when he had all those cops at gunpoint. He could have stopped them all. He could have stopped all those bullets. This Magneto caught like a sky full of missiles, turned them around, and sent them right back toward
3 different times.
Rashek,
while he's fighting.
Rashek and his Roughnecks. And the Russians.
And the Russians.
And everyone in between.
Same.
He was like, they're just not going to hit me.
No, facts. And he picked up a submarine out the water.
He lifted a submarine. He turned a satellite. Did not disrupt their TV signal at all.
Didn't.
Ripped the wall off of that submarine to crush the fucking handsome tornado guy. He was a menace with that knife.
Cool.
When he was torturing the Nazis in the bar, which was honestly a short torture because he pretty much just like stuck a knife in the one and killed the other guy.
Same.
He was awesome.
I agree. So I didn't write it down and I almost did, but I don't know if this is the right word. But the juxtaposition of him, we look at a young Eric Lensher facing Kevin Bacon, and all you see, he's in an office and there's books. And then he goes, hey, move this coin. Oh, you can't do it? Okay, it's fine. No big deal. You don't even think he's the bad guy. Kevin Bacon's always the bad guy, no matter what. So it's like, he's like, okay, cool, no worries. Rings the bell. Right before his mom comes in, the camera turns 180, and then you see a room that you have to watch. It's a glass room. On the other side of these library books, there's a glass room. It's all white, and there's nothing but torture tools in it. It looks like a doctor's office, like an operating room. That right there alone, I was like, oh, this movie's good. And because you brought it up, I'll just say it. So I have Magneto written down. I have Magneto, not Michael Fassbender, because, I mean, I couldn't tell the difference. The Argentina scene, the best scene of this entire franchise. When he was in the bar. When he was in the bar and he's drinking a beer, and the guy goes, I'm a pig farmer, ha 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 ha. And I'm like, and in my head, I didn't understand the first time I watched it, but then I think I got it when they obviously were making fun, not of Michael Fassbender, but they were making fun that they were Nazis.
Yeah, cool, because at the time they didn't know that he was...
They didn't know.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, my mom's from Brussels. Oh, what's her name? Well, she didn't have a name. It was taken from her.
By pig farmers and tailors.
And he cheers them.
Yep. And then they're both like, oh shit. Because he's like, I think then he shows
the
numbers and they're like, oh.
It took a minute. And he's drinking his beer. They're all looking at each other after he cheers. And he sets his beer down and he turns over his fucking forearm. And they're the fucking Nazi, or the fucking numbers are printed on them. And what do you do? Then the guy goes...
Get killed.
The guy tries to kill him. He tries to kill him with a knife. He grabs the knife out of his hand, looks at it, and it's engraved. It says blood and honor. He goes, blood and honor, huh? I guess it'll be blood. Stabs him. The other guy comes with a gun. He's Magneto, so he directs the gun to the other guy. He dies, and then he throws a knife at the guy with the gun. And then he brings it back to him and stabs the guy in the hand
Sticks it back
again.
in his hand. Yeah.
Let me put this back where I got it from. Slink. And he goes. He says something. I forgot what he says after that before he shoots the guy. I was like, yes, this is comeuppance. Give me a movie of him just hunting Nazis. I'd watch it.
I remember what he says.
What did he say?
He asks him who he is, and he says, I guess I'm Frankenstein's monster.
Oh, yeah.
He sees the picture of Kevin Bacon and them on the wall, and he's like, looking for my creator.
Preach. It was good.
That scene was incredible. Best in this, in the, like, the First Class movies, like, best scene, or in the entire X-Men, everything. Because that's tough. Because this scene is very good. But I also like the scene in X3 Last Stand when they're in the plane and Beast says, "Oh, my stars and garters." It's nothing, but I like it. It's nowhere near as powerful.
I was going to say, when you said Beast is in the plane, I'm like, there's no scene in the plane that I'm like, oh, this is great. Yeah, I'm going to go, yeah.
In the entire X-Men franchise, that's including the Nightcrawler in the White House scene.
That was a good one.
Because that's really good.
That's a good one. But that's like, oh, this is a villain. We know it's a mutant, but he's a villain. And we don't see him. But he's not really a villain, though.
He's not.
Eric Lyncher is who he is.
Yeah.
He never changes from that point, technically.
No.
And, well, he changed it a little bit in Apocalypse, to be fair.
Because Charles tells him, is like, killing him won't bring you peace. Like, peace was never an option.
Was never an option.
I wasn't doing this for that. I'm not out here for that.
Baby.
I'm out here for revenge.
It's like what Batman tells Robin. He's like, killing Two-Face isn't going to bring your family back. Eric Lyncher's like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. He's like, I'm ready to kill this man. Dead. So, yeah, I don't know. Show me a better scene. Some people would say it would be the people who really love Logan would say Logan at the end when he's in the woods. I've seen it too many times. Because honestly, X2 had a better Logan scene in the mansion than that's a good scene.
Yes, it is.
It's a way better scene than what Logan had, to be honest with you.
Him killing all those fucking home invaders.
Ooh.
Great.
When he got the guy with the foot, and then he just comes up and the gun's going off. I'm like, come on.
Yeah.
Come on. Easy. So that's another scene that I would say is up there too. But this scene is just because it's Nazis, I think.
Well, Scott's death scene. X3.
Scott's death scene is top 2 for me.
Ooh, so it's
And
this.
it ain't 2. And it ain't 2.
Okay, so it's Scott's death scene.
No, I like Donald
Got it.
Lord.
No, I got you.
He's cool. I just watched Superman Returns the other day.
Nice.
That's such a good movie. I actually got bored with it like halfway through, and then I think I was just tired because when I went back, I was like, "This isn't boring." What am I talking about? But Superman hadn't showed up yet, so that's the part where I was bored. So yeah, you should watch it. It's a good show.
I have seen it. It's been a long time though.
Kevin Spacey's he's great in it, but you know,
You can be good at. You can be good at acting and be a scumbag human being.
100%.
You know, and he is.
A lot of people are.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay. My first Mystique. I like Mystique. I like Mystique as Charles's mom because it's unexpected, and I didn't remember that scene. It was just like it showed off her powers very subtly, and I was like, oh, okay. I wasn't expecting it, and I don't have hate for Jennifer Lawrence like a lot of people do, and I think people had Jennifer Lawrence fatigue because they kept trying to make her a leading lady, and I don't think she wanted to be. Personally, it was just me and my personal opinion. I think after Hunger Games, I think she was like, I don't want to do this. That's just my opinion. I didn't talk to her. I don't know her. But then when this came out, they kept trying to push her up front, and she was not giving.
Oh, she was front and center in everything for this movie.
But she was. I didn't think she wanted to be. I don't think she wanted to be. I think that's why. Because if you look at, she gives very lackluster, like a lackluster performance.
Well, then I'm gonna go ahead and say she shouldn't have been.
No, fair, but I think they were trying to because of her success with Hunger Games. I think they were like, hey, you don't really know Michael Fassbender. McAvoy was only in Wanted. She was in Hunger Games, and Hunger Games is like the #1 movie that's been out for years at the time.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I think they tried, and then I think what really stopped her was Passengers, and I actually liked that show. It was her and Chris Star-Lord, I forget his name. Pratt. They were stuck on a plane that was traveling. Sorry, not a plane, a shuttle that was taking life to a different planet, and everybody was hypersleep. And then they woke up. Both of them woke up 50 years in the hypersleep of 1,000 years. Yeah, so like they weren't supposed to wake up. And then they find out Star-Lord's character woke up accident. Something, it was like a malfunction, and he woke her up. She didn't know. They both woke up by accident, and hers. So she was pissed because she was like, I could have still been asleep because they couldn't get back to sleep. That was the thing. They couldn't get back to sleep because and then they were also headed on a crash course too. They didn't know, and so something happened with the crew. It was a whole thing. I don't know. It was explained.
Were they like aliens or anything? Well, that sounds boring.
It's just.
I'm sorry.
It kind of was, but it was. I liked it. It was fine. It was funny. It was like two people on a ship. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Anyway, that was my first like.
Okay.
Your next like.
Okay. My next.
Mystique. No.
I didn't write it next, but I'm gonna give it my next one. Charles. I like Patrick Stewart,
of course,
as Charles Xavier,
of course,
as one does,
of course,
because at this point there had only been two, and at this point there's still only been two.
Facts.
Live action Charles Xaviers in these movies, and other movies.
Even if his heads explode,
yeah. Even if they die, even if they don't, even if they come back in another body, it's been two people. Anywho, Charles Xavier. I like him. I like James McAvoy as Charles Xavier. I like Patrick Stewart, I think, a little more just because I'm more used to him and it's like the more classic Charles Xavier. But I think James McAvoy does a good job also.
I agree.
You got to see a young Charles. And not young like a young, spry 45-year-old Charles goes around with Magneto to meet a young Jean. I mean like fresh out of college.
Yeah. Still trying to hit on girls.
Yeah, hitting on every woman with the same line about genetic mutations, bringing us to this point. I was like, he's got a move.
You don't keep trying unless it works.
Charles has a move.
Fair.
And it works. It works for him.
It did.
I like Charles in this because you get Charles Xavier is a character who on the surface is like, oh, humanitarian, wants the best for everybody, and that's like his goal. Is like he wants the best for everyone. He wants the best for both people, like both sides, mutants and humanity. He wants them to coexist. But Mystique brings it up. She's like, other mutants like are suffering. Like your mutation isn't visible, so you're not like you're not like me. You're not like Hank. Even Hank just put on a pair of shoes. But it's still hiding who he is. Like, it's not a mutation that you can't see. Or it is a mutation that you can't see. It's not something that if nobody knew it about you, they wouldn't know it. So, you want what's best for humanity and mutant kind, which is fine, but also you want the best for humanity who wants the worst for us. And so, like, Mystique says that to him, and it's Charles Xavier's character is pretty well. I mean, in the first trilogy, it comes up also. Like, he did some things for the right reasons, like the things he did with Jean's powers.
Right.
Granted, she was fucking dangerous.
I had no problem with what he was doing with Jean.
Exactly. Like, she was super fucking dangerous. And he was kind of painted in a certain light for... Granted, Magneto helped paint him in that light to Jean. But, like, there's other instances in, like, the comics and stuff where Charles Xavier does what seems to be the best for everybody, but either has horrible fucking ramifications in the long run, or it's just not great for some people because it keeps some people from doing other things. In these movies, or in this movie, I should say, he uses his powers for, like, the betterment of stopping a nuclear war. That's a pretty noble cause.
I think so.
But he still doesn't get out of it without getting fucking paralyzed.
Listen.
And we were waiting for it from the start, because Charles in this movie is a young man who has full use of his legs.
Walking around, all cocky on both legs.
Yeah. Like he's proud of it. And then by the end of it, he ends up in this X-wheelchair, classic, not the hover chair. It'll take us some time before we get there. But I like Charles in this movie. He's very idealistic. Him and Magneto play chess. It's not like a big scene, but you see the chessboard in like 2 scenes on the Lincoln Memorial steps, and then in their like little study at the mansion. And he's the one who kind of brings out the best in everyone and their abilities.
Facts.
Like, he helps Havoc. Granted, the machine that they built for him helps also, but he helps Havoc. He helps fucking Eric. He helps Hank learn to take his shoes off. He helps everyone but Mystique. Honestly, he doesn't really help her. Magneto helps her, kind of.
True.
Just by telling her, like, hey, you don't have to change who you are. Because anytime we see her, she's Jennifer Lawrence. Like, she's not Blue. Even when she's, like, in her room by herself, they open up the door and she's in there looking like that. And every time she brings it up to Charles, like, oh, well, you know, like, oh, if there was a cure, like, if you could change this or that, and it's like, why are you so concerned with your looks? That's all I talk about nowadays. Like, Charles isn't a perfect individual that he, like, seems to hold himself up to be.
Right. Well, I don't think...
Or that he likes other people to maybe see him as.
I think that's the audience who thinks that. That he's a perfect individual.
Yeah.
You know, I think he thinks he's flawed. I think he thinks humans are flawed, because he always says that. Like, he's like, you think you want everybody to be Shaw, and he was like, and then Magneto's like, you want everybody to be Moira or whatever. And so I think that's not what they said, something like that. He's like, all humans can't be, because he's
like, they're not all her.
Yeah, they're not all her, whatever. And I think we look at him as a perfect figure because he's like the father figure of the X-Men.
Yeah, he's like the leader.
But like him getting drunk after he became a professor, him, you know, I think that right there showed his flaw, because he was still hitting on girls with the same. Like, they show him not necessarily in the best light.
Yeah.
And I think that's good.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, facts.
Because he's, like, no one in these movies are, like, a perfect individual. Eric is far from it.
Right.
But Charles, like, we like to think of him as such, but he's definitely not.
Right. The only person who was perfect in this movie died, so it's no big deal. It's fine.
We'll get there.
We'll get. We're gonna get there.
But that was my next one, was Charles.
Okay. Kevin Bacon is evil, and I like it. I like Shaw. I thought he was a great villain. I think I've said this before. I want my villain to be take no hostages. And when he shot his mom, I was like, okay, in for a penny, you know, like, listen, he was evil, and he didn't have any bones about him. He was like, whatever. And then every time he killed somebody, it was just like, he just looked at amazement, like, man, this is me, and I'm doing this. this. Like when they were all shooting at him when he was coming up on the whatever, and they were shooting at him, and then he took that power and blew up the entire second floor balcony. He was just like, yeah, this is what I'm talking about. I like this. And I was just like, yeah, I want my villain to not hold back. I don't want my villain holding a gun to the hostage like, I'm gonna kill her, but I'm gonna give you time. No, I want my villain to be like, boom, I killed her. What are you gonna do about it? And that's basically who Kevin Bacon was, and I loved it. I loved every minute of it. He even killed the guy, and he was cocky too. He was a cocky villain. He's like, I brought a grenade. You're gonna let me walk off? He's like, no, I'll let it go. Okay, I'll do it. And then that's when we find out he's a mutant, and I'm just like, ooh, he was good. But I didn't know, is he a character in the comics? Mm-hmm. See, I didn't know who he was until I watched this movie, and I was like, ooh, I like this guy. So, but that's my next like.
Okay. I did like him. I thought the way that they showed his power is really cool. Like when he was like absorbing the power, especially because like he doesn't grow extra arms and shit to do it, but like they make it look like he does. Like he got like vibrates at high frequency. Like when he first had the grenade, like 4, he has like turned into a fucking Machamp and like just
loved it.
Compresses it down.
Loved it.
Yeah, I thought it was cool.
Yeah, same.
When he, like you said, when that whole army of people just unloaded on him and he just like stomped and that whole fucking like thing in front of him just exploded. That was cool.
And then he was getting shot like the fucking mask Dorian. He was absorbing them, and I was just like, ooh, this is so good.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because that dude hit him with a grenade launcher and then he like fucking stomped and that thing exploded. He just like grabbed those fucking energy rods in the nuclear reactor and was just like stroking out. Like he had 2 heads. He had like
every time I see that scene,
he looked like he was dying. He looked like he was getting like radiation poisoning or something.
See, I thought he was like turning into some kind of monster. That's what it looked like to me, and I was like, ooh, that looks good. Like some kind of lizard person or something. I was like,
that's just what Kevin Bacon looks like.
Hey, listen, I told you, I love a villain, Kevin Bacon. The only time I seen him as a hero was Tremors.
Yeah, I was gonna say Tremors, right?
And
Footloose.
Never seen it. I'll never see it.
Seen it. But that was him, right?
Is it still the #1 movie in the world?
It never was.
Oh. No, I never seen it. But the only other time he was a hero was not 13 Ghosts. What was that? Stir of Echoes.
Say not 13 Ghosts. He was not in that movie.
Stir of Echoes, though. He could hear voices, and he dug up a whole basement. But he saved like 2 people who were trapped. It was a crazy movie. But he was hearing ghost voices, and they were trying to. His house was haunted, and they were trying to get him to save a girl who was kidnapped 2 houses away from his. It was crazy. It was pretty good though. Then they came out with a sequel. He wasn't in the sequel, so
just like Tremors.
Yeah. Well, that was better though. Didn't see the other one was straight to video.
They made like 6 Tremors movies.
Tremors 3 was more like Stir of Echoes 2.
They made like 6 Tremors movies, and he was only in the first one.
Facts. But yeah, him as a villain. He played a movie called not the Glimmer Man. Fuck. Not the Invisible Man. God damn it.
Hollow Man.
Hollow Man. Whoo. That was a good movie.
Didn't see it.
I mean, I don't personally like this part of it, but he definitely. Oh, yeah, you know, he did that. Watching some girl outside of her room while he was invisible, and he went in the room.
Oh boy.
Yeah. And then he started. It was so good though. The movie was amazing. And then they spoofed it on the Scary Movie. Oh, even better. It was so good. But anywho, your next like.
Okay, my next like, the uniforms. They finally got some fucking yellow and blue outfits in these movies. Also, at the end, Magneto's helmet was actually red. Like red, not like dark fucking maroon brown like it was in the first original trilogy. It was red and fucking purple, and everyone's outfits were yellow and blue. It only took them like a whole trilogy.
And some people, honestly, when I first saw it, I was like, yeah. But I like it now.
I like
I honestly thought you didn't like it, but
No,
I didn't know.
I liked it when I first saw it, and I like it now, especially after having recently watched the other ones where they were all just fucking black jumpsuits. I was like, the most we got was that little bit of piping in the third one. I was like, that's not enough. That's not enough. We got some yellow and blue outfits. Not enough pipe. But that's a quick one for me, is the uniforms look good. I thought they looked good to me.
Wolverine cameo. It's just pretty good.
Yep.
They got the little F in there. Go fuck yourself.
Yep.
Loved it.
Classic.
I remember the first time I saw it, I was like, hey, oh, he's not gonna be in it? Okay.
Yeah, I was like, they can do that?
I was like, dang.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, sucks. But yeah, that was it.
My next like includes that one also. I just wrote mutant recruiting. I
Yeah.
just like the little bits of them going around meeting everybody, and that's like the best part of it.
Yeah.
Is to go fuck yourself.
100%.
Because
But he's definitely in the next one.
he's been in every one of these fucking movies.
Yeah.
And he's in the next one, like main character. He's in Apocalypse for like a second. Because they let him out of the thing.
Is it him though?
Yeah, I think it is.
Oh, okay. I never thought it was him.
The only one I don't think he's in is Dark Phoenix.
Right.
But
He's
it's been
in, Logan.
Is he? No, it's Liev Schreiber and Ryan Reynolds.
Same.
But no, that was my next one. It was just a mutant recruiting scene. And of course, the Go Fuck Yourself is classic.
Okay. My turn again?
Yes.
Killing Shaw. I mean, that's a little separate than Shaw or Magneto because it was such a good scene. It was such a good scene because he was just like doing all the stuff and he was no match for fucking Shaw. And then Charles, the way he took off his helmet, oh, that was
With
so
the wires.
So
Yeah.
good. I was like, this guy.
So Magneto's smart. And he's capable.
And he can put a coin through your fucking head. A Nazi coin at that. Listen. Again. If I was a cop and they were like, hey, are you going to arrest this man? I'm like, why? He killed a Nazi. Why would you? No. He killed a Nazi. He killed a Nazi Kevin Bacon. Come on.
Who was trying to start a nuclear war.
He was also trying to start World War III. No, I'm not arresting this guy. This guy's good. He's good for me.
Did I just do your job for you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like always.
Anywho.
That was my next like.
Okay.
What about yours?
My next like was Azazel.
I liked the way Azazel looked.
He was cool.
He was pretty cool.
And apparently, like, comics-wise, he is Nightcrawler's dad. With
Ah,
Mystique.
that makes sense.
Nightcrawler is the spawn of Azazel and Mystique, I believe, in the comics.
I can see that.
And
That'd be hot.
because he's just the blue version of him. He's got the same powers and the tail and everything.
Mm-hmm. I can see that. That'd be hot.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's hot.
What's up?
Yeah. But the real quick one was for
Hold on.
Azazel.
Let me finish. It made me horny.
Can I finish?
But yeah, no, his tail, the tail is the good. I mean, he looks like the devil. I love it. I thought he was great.
Yeah.
He also only spoke Russian. Weird, but
I think he spoke a little English, but like he was speaking Russian, yeah. But there were a lot of Russians in this movie.
Fair.
A lot of this movie was actually in like German/Russian
Yeah,
and other languages.
I agree. Okay, you said it already. So, Magneto helmet. That was my next like, but I'll go to the next one. Yeah, this is what I wrote. Neo stopping the bullets. It's the Matrix, man. I don't make these movies. But apparently they've all seen the Matrix.
Didn't everybody?
And when he stopped those missiles, I was like, ah. Also, I just watched the Matrix like 2 days ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I watched Matrix and Matrix Reloaded. It was so good. He stopped those missiles. I was like, oh. I was like, Neo. I was like, I didn't know Eric Lensher was Mr. Anderson. This is great. So yeah, it was good. The Matrix, man. Am I never not gonna bring up the Matrix? No, never. I'm gonna always bring it up because it's relevant. So yeah, there's that. I got one more like, but you go.
Okay. My next one, my last one, Beast. It's my favorite X-Man.
Mm-hmm.
And just because I don't like this one as much as I loved Kelsey Grammer's Beast,
Okay.
I still enjoy him. Also, we get him for more than one movie.
Facts.
But I'll take what I can get.
That's fair.
I thought once he transformed fully into like Beast, I thought he looked pretty good. He didn't just look like a guy in makeup, because they like did makeup, but also like some CGI on him. Because there's precedent of in the comics him looking more animalistic than just like a dude with blue face and like spiky haircut.
Yeah.
There's like a couple instances of him looking like almost like just like a fucking walking upright cat person, like just a blue like lion or tiger. And this was closer to that and more animalistic. And also he fucking was wrecking shit when he got up on people.
He does it better. He does it better in the next one though. But yeah, I agree.
I'm looking forward to seeing more of these, of him in these.
Same.
But Beast is my last like.
Professor X and Magneto's friendship. They have never been at odds. They disagree, but they don't ever try to hurt each other. Even in this one, when old boy got shot by the stray bullet, Professor X, and it was Magneto's fault, he immediately went and cradled Professor X. And I was just like, these guys. It's just a beautiful friendship that, I mean, think about it like this. You got two, I mean, they're both about the same age, right? Like two young men, you know, whatever. Neither of them ever marry. They never have kids. You know, such is life. I can see it. I'd watch a movie of it.
Magneto technically has kids, but actually, no, they both technically have kids. Not in these movies.
Not in these movies.
Not in these movies, but they do.
So, who's Charles's kids?
Legion. He is a mutant with multiple personalities, and if I remember right, each one of them has a different power.
That's awesome.
If I remember right, they had an FX made a show about him a few years ago. I don't know if it was any good. I didn't watch it.
Probably not.
But I mean, of course, we know Magneto's children.
Oh, old girl and old boy.
Well, I mean, we'll meet Magneto's son in the next movie.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and who's their mom?
I don't remember.
Oh, okay, I thought it was somebody.
I don't know if it's anyone of importance.
Well, okay.
But we will not be meeting his daughter in these movies. Because a different studio adopted her.
She died in the last movie.
She goes to a different school.
She goes to a different school. But yeah, that's my last like.
Okay. Dislikes.
You want to go first?
Sure.
Let me go first.
Sure. I'll go first. Beast.
I knew it. I was like, I didn't think you really liked the Beast. But when you said like, I was like,
I saw the look.
And then I was like, he's gonna say Beast for this. Like, I knew where this was going.
Yeah.
We've done too many of these episodes. We know.
Impossible. I like him and I dislike him.
Yeah.
Because I like that they started him out as a normal looking guy, because in the old comics that's how he was. He was a dude with like big hands and feet, and he tried to cure his mutation and it turned him blue into like a blue animal person. In this one, that worked for me because he did it with Mystique's she's blue and she like changes her appearance, so like he did the treatment on himself and it turned himself blue. I liked it. It was fine. He's just kind of a bitch. I don't know if it's Nicholas Hoult being him, or the way that he plays him, or just the lines they were giving him, but he was kind of a jerk. Like, I like when he was being smart guy, building shit, and, like, helping people with stuff, but when it was, like, him and Mystique in the room together, he was like, my feet and the way all of this over here are never going to be beautiful.
He did say that. That was at the end. That was the last thing he said.
Yeah. It's like, you will never be... He's like, you're beautiful. And then she turns back into Jennifer Lawrence. She's like, you're beautiful right now.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Here, my thing is, I think, if I remember correctly, Beast McCoy, he's a pacifist. He doesn't like to fight.
No.
And so he wasn't shy, but what is the word I'm thinking of? He was more reserved, but he was taking licks without giving them back to the other guys. Like, everybody was talking about him, like,
Havoc was just like talking shit on him.
Talking shit to him, whatever. And I was like, okay, I don't really see him being bullied, but as a regular person, I understand why. Because he's only insecure about his feet, which is weird, but so fucking weird. But he was more like a nerd, kind of like a coward as a human. But then when he turned blue, which is how I only know him as, I didn't read the comics, so I only know him as blue. He's a pacifist, but he'll fight if he needs to.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what happened after he turned blue. But before that, though, I just thought he was just like, eh.
Yeah, because I like him because he's like the Donatello of the group. Mm-hmm. He built the shit to help Havoc use his lasers. He built the jet. He built fucking Cerebro. He did all the tech shit. And he's a smart guy. Like, him and Charles are the smart ones. I like it. But when he turns blue, he can kick ass. I like that also.
Fair.
But I don't know what it was. Just in this movie, I liked him, but I also just didn't. Maybe it's because I didn't really care about Jennifer Lawrence as Mystique at all, and they did a lot of like a possible romance with her.
True.
But they also kind of did a romance with her and Magneto, and like that weird brother-sister thing going on with Charles. But okay, so this Beast was a dislike. I didn't dig him. Right. For as much as I do get to see more of him, I hope that I like him more in the next ones, because I don't remember how much I like him in the next ones. Actually, I don't know. I remember somewhat that I don't really like him as much in the next ones either. So Kelsey Grammer is still the number one live action Beast, in my opinion. His blue form did look fucking sweet. Mm-hmm. But I just couldn't get behind him as much.
And if I remember correctly, they make his blue form in the next one worse.
I remember he's basically the Hulk with it.
Yeah, just like either skin tone.
No, I mean like either in the next one or Apocalypse, like he's normal, but then when he gets angry, he like turns into the fucking.
Oh yeah, I think that's what happens.
I don't like that.
Okay,
I don't like
that. I just wrote they're young, not warriors. When after they recruited these people and they were like dancing and drinking or whatever they were doing, I didn't see a problem with that. They were showing off their powers to each other. Yeah. This is what young people do. And I thought that Magneto would have that response because he's all business. But Xavier, I thought he was a little harsh because I was just like, why wouldn't they act like this? Like, it didn't make sense that they were all business.
Yeah.
You never really told them what you were here for. They never really knew.
Yeah, did you tell them like, oh, hey, we're going to work for the government.
We're going to war.
So hopefully you get those lasers under control.
Yeah, exactly. And then like, what were they supposed to do? So to me, I was just like, can't get mad at them for that. And they were mad. And I was just like, this is stupid.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just thought it was dumb. But that's I got another dislike.
No, I agree with that. Honestly.
Same scene.
Yeah. Let's just get right to that. Let's just go to it. Yeah.
Darwin?
Yeah.
I'll let you take it over.
Me?
Yeah, why not?
He tried.
Explain.
First off, he shouldn't. Here's where I'm going to get, like, nitpicky.
Yeah.
Sebastian Shaw's powers are not that. For as much as, like, he absorbs energy and shit and gets him stronger, he gets physically stronger. He doesn't, like, absorb energy and then, like, on the boat, touches the dude and he fucking vaporizes him. Or forms an energy ball out of it and puts it in the dude's mouth and he fucking explodes.
Yeah.
He is just like, oh, you hit me? I'm going to hit you back like 10 times fucking stronger.
Kind of like the Black Panther suit.
Yeah, it's like kinetic energy absorption. So like the nuclear energy thing, I don't think that would have really happened either, based on like the nitpicky comic booky stuff. So the fact that he did that to begin with, and then he kills the dude who can adapt to stuff with it.
So weird to me.
He tried. He like turned to steel or metal or something. He like turned to stone, and it killed him anyway. Because I'm guessing that's just their way of showing like, oh, he's that strong that he couldn't adapt to it. I get that part of it, but I agree with you. He says he can adapt to anything.
Here's my thing.
Granted, no one had put a fucking energy ball in his mouth before, I guess.
First time I seen this movie, I didn't understand who Darwin was. Mm-hmm. I was like, hey, all right. We got one. Let's go. That's what I thought, to be honest.
And it's not Storm.
And it wasn't, she was in it too, but it wasn't Storm. But I was like, all right, we got one. First mutant dies. Come on, man.
Zoe Kravitz.
She didn't die.
No, she didn't. But I mean,
she don't even like being black. She said it.
She turned evil.
No, she's a Catwoman. She still doesn't like being black. Whatever. She was hurt by the Chris Rock smack. Come out.
Oh.
Yeah.
That must have been hard for her.
She was like, see, this is why I don't want to be black or something like that. Whatever. So, yeah, it was close. I'm paraphrasing. Whatever. She's an idiot. Anywho, let me say, I will talk about her. Anywho, so I didn't know. So I was just like, okay, cool. And then he died. And I was like, God damn, why'd he die? And I was like, man, that's a shitty but awesome way to die. Like, I was like, okay, sweet. Then I learned about Darwin. And I was like, hey, you killed the wrong guy. You killed the unkillable guy. It's like, this is, to me personally, I was like, oh, this is like Batman vs. Superman. Okay. He got a piece of kryptonite. Okay. Like, is that what Shaw did? Because, like...
Oh, did he put some prep time in his mouth?
Yeah, like... I'm sorry. Like, the man is... And we also didn't get to see the full height of his powers, which I didn't like either. Because I don't know much about Darwin, but like I said, what I do know...
I don't know much about him at all. More than... Honestly, I don't really know much about him but beyond this movie. So, yeah.
Fair. But we didn't get to see much of... He turned into stone twice... And he had gills on once. Great. I feel like he can do more than that. Especially if he's as powerful as they say he is in the comic book. He should be able to. I've been told he's really powerful in the comic books. And like he's up there as far as like. Because there's like a mutant level. Do you know that?
Yeah.
Like I didn't know that.
Omega is like the highest one, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. And because who's an Omega that's an X-Man?
Magneto.
Yeah, Magneto.
Iceman.
Is he really?
I think so. In the comics, I think he is. Storm, I think, is.
Jean Grey is, for sure. Yeah. So, I thought he was up there. I don't know if he was Omega, but I thought he was up there. And so, I guess every time I learn more about Darwin, I'm like, man, he shouldn't have died. So, it's annoying. And it really bums me out because I wish I would have saw more of him. Because, honestly, they could have killed Angel. They could have killed Banshee, honestly. Which I think they do next movie. I don't know. But they could have, and I'd have been fine. And I understand why Havoc couldn't die because of the next movie.
Yeah.
So I get it. Because I think he dies in the next movie. Oh, you haven't seen it. But I think he dies in the next movie.
They all die in the future.
Yeah, but they go back to the past first.
Yeah.
And I think they die in the past.
Yeah, isn't Havoc on like a military base?
Something like that. He dies something like that, or he either dies in that or Apocalypse, because that's where Scott comes from, because that's his brother. So I'm like,
there can only be one.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, I get it. So it is what it is. But yeah, that's my last dislike. So What else you got?
I'm looking at a thing about a summary of his powers.
Oh, who? Darwin?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Huh. Well, it says in here, and granted, it's the Wycopodiah, so anyone can put anything on there.
Hilarious.
But it does say, examples of his powers include gaining night vision after a few seconds in the dark, gills after being submerged in water, fireproof skin after being exposed to flame, increasing his own intelligence, converting his body into pure energy, no longer requiring oxygen after being sucked into the vacuum of space, morphing into a sponge when shot at with a weapon designed to destroy the subject's nervous system.
That sounds specific.
Yeah.
That was like episode
Yeah.
comic book 291 or something.
Acquiring comprehension of an alien language merely by looking at samples of it. His power may concern itself with more efficient methods of survival than he might choose. For example, instead of getting his ass beat by the Hulk, his body might just gain teleportation and warp him away from it.
I've heard of that. Yeah, they were like, oh, Darwin win. He's like, or he would get the fuck out of there. And I was like, what? And yeah, I've heard of that. Yeah, which also would have worked in this case.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely would have.
He's like, oh, I'm no match for you, Rip. About.
Yeah, this one they seem. I mean, all those cases sound like it's like a reactionary, like a defensive thing.
Yeah.
It's like he adapts to it.
But pure energy would have saved him, I think. If I would add that.
I mean, if you turn into pure energy, I'm guessing a guy can't have you in a chokehold.
He can't energy ball you to death.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, I think he falls under the Doctor Strange, Captain Marvel-esque situation, where he's too powerful to be kept alive, or too powerful to help, because he could just end it in 2 seconds. And I get it for a movie, whatever. But also, could have gave me a little bit more, just a little taste, a little tease.
Yeah, more. What can you do? Puts his head in a fish tank.
Blip, blip, blip.
Gets hit with a chair. Oh, so what's your superpower? I can wail on you with this 2x4 and it doesn't hurt you? Ah, that didn't hurt. Yeah.
Exactly. Same. But yeah, that's my dislike.
That's fair.
You got any more?
I have one more.
Let me guess.
You know what it is.
Mystique?
No. Okay. Oh. I have two more. I have two more.
No, I don't know that.
Mystique is one of them. And you touched on it with the Jennifer Lawrence thing, that she was the hottest commodity in Hollywood at one point. And she's not really in the next one that much. Her presence is felt in the Future Sentinels and everything. Great, I don't care. They put her, she was in so much of this movie. I don't care. Everyone knows she's not a founding member of the X-Men. I feel like that was just put in there to get her closer to Magneto at the end of the movie. But that's a stupid way to do it. It's Charles's sister. They had a weird fucking brother-sister almost romance, it felt like. Because you said to me, do you kiss your sister like that? I was I don't kiss my sister at all.
Same.
So,
Same.
But yeah, it was weird. And also, she added nothing to the fucking proceedings.
I agree. And that's the thing about her, is that I'm like, okay, I get Days of Future Past, 100%. I get why she's in there a lot.
Yeah.
This one, if she wasn't there, I would have never knew.
Because that was also our problem with Rogue in the first X-Men movie.
And I thought that too.
A character who is given a lot of time, who
doesn't want to be a mutant anymore.
Doesn't really add anything to it also. Because like we said, Charles helps everybody with their power. Her power is transforming everybody, is transforming other people. It's not like a combat ability. She is lifting weights while everyone else is doing shit. And even then, Magneto almost fucking drops it on her head because he didn't like what she said to him. He didn't like that she wasn't transforming into herself. It's not Jennifer Lawrence's fault that someone thought she could carry this movie.
Fair.
But they thought she could, and she couldn't, in my opinion. I don't think she was. I've never thought Mystique is that cool of a character, but she was way cooler in the first trilogy.
100%. And if I can put on my man glasses, way sexier in the first 3 movies, but that's just me. Because Rebecca remains
the man glasses are sexy.
this is my man hat. I want to be a non-feminist at this point and talk about someone's body. That's all.
You don't see her body in this movie.
Who's?
Rebecca Romijn. You see her face.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the first 3 movies. You see her body a lot.
Yes, you do.
So I like it better than Jennifer Lawrence's.
Fair.
That's it.
Okay.
All right, I'm back.
Keith's back, everybody.
This guy right here.
See?
No one cares.
Yeah. Dodson. We got Dodson here. Nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
Okay, my next dislike.
Yeah.
Where's Stan?
Yeah, Stan the Manly.
No Stan Lee. In this one or in X2. There's no Stan Lee cameo.
Was he not in X2?
No.
You're probably right.
He was in X-Men and X3. But not X2.
And this is around the time where they should have been.
He's not in this one. I saw it like a little
It's
trivia
Sony,
thing.
bro. Or Fox. Fox is trash.
I saw a little trivia thing on IMDb about it, and it said he thought it was they were shooting it too far away. I don't know where they shot it,
I mean,
but
right, Russia.
Stan doesn't want to go. He ain't gonna go.
Listen, Facts. He's like, already been to that war.
Don't make me come down there.
Yeah, that's
Seriously, don't make me come down there.
With that being said, he could have been all over this movie, so I can't even think of a scene.
She could have just fucking turned into him at some point. To blend into the background.
Exactly.
That would have been fine. That alone might have gotten her out of the dislikes. If she turned into Stanley, like, good, he did something useful.
Yeah, sure. Either way.
So no Stan is a bummer.
That's fair.
He would have fit in perfectly at that fucking military round table. He's an old white man there.
True, but it would have been funny.
It would have been funny, and I would have liked it because this movie could have used a little bit more funny.
True. I think the recruiting aspect would have been the part because that was the funniest part.
Yes, he could have been. I don't know. He could have been the bartender in the Wolverine scene.
Yep.
Yeah, he could have been anywhere. He could have been some creep at the fucking strip club sitting next to them when they went to see Angel. That would have been hilarious.
Wouldn't be his first strip club scene.
That'd be so funny. Just Stanley throwing money up there.
Or you could be the DJ again.
Hey.
Yeah, he was a DJ before.
Yes.
That'd have been a good
Which one was he the DJ in? Was it?
I think it was Deadpool. The first one, right?
I think you're right.
Yeah, because they both go to the strip club together. Yeah, it was the first one. Would have been a great little. But whatever.
I think my favorite Stanley might be in Ant-Man 2. It's funny.
I don't remember it.
It's during the big chase at the end of the movie. He's going to unlock his car, and his car gets shrunk. He's like, well, the 60s were fun, but now I'm paying for it. I was like, that's fucking hilarious to me. That's good.
That's right. I forgot about
good
that.
Stuff. That might be my favorite one. I do really like Captain Marvel because it's him reading the Mallrats script, and he smiles at her, and she smiles at him. I do like that one.
No. Brie Larson didn't smile at all in that movie.
Not even
They said
once.
she didn't smile once, and that took them out of it. Because who likes a confident chick? Fucking idiots. Anywho. Slushie Meter.
Okay.
Here you go.
3.5.
I'm going to give it a 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to go 3.5. Maybe it's nostalgia speaking for me, but I liked the old trilogy. I like the first X-Men movie more than I like this first X-Men movie.
I get what you're saying. That makes sense.
Yeah. Like, they both had things that they did better than the other, I thought, in some instances. Magneto was amazing in this movie.
Yeah.
I do really like Ian McKellen as Magneto also.
Right.
And we're going to get more of both in the next one.
Yes, we are.
I like James McAvoy and I like Patrick Stewart. I'm going to get more of both in the next one.
Same.
So I can't be mad about that. And I'm not mad at this movie at all. I think it's
a solid movie.
It's an X-Men movie. I like the X-Men.
Same.
They've never. I'm not going to finish that sentence. I was going to say they've never made a terrible movie.
Not that we've seen yet.
But I don't.
Well, that's also not true.
Because Origins sucked.
I think we're still kind to it though.
Dark Phoenix was not nobody was kind to that movie, but I don't really remember it a ton. So once we get to it, we'll get to it, and I'll remember better. Yeah, because you still haven't seen it yet, right?
No.
Yeah, I haven't seen it in a couple of years.
And I haven't looked at any review, any nothing. I haven't seen the Cinema Sin, the Cinema Win, because I've been waiting to watch it.
For this?
Yeah.
Just for this?
Well, because I
Ever
haven't
since
seen
it came out.
Honestly, sometimes I'm like, man, I shouldn't watch this movie. Like, I watch Superman Returns, and I'm like, we might watch it, but we might not. And, like, I watched, what else did I fucking watch? I watched something else. I was like, we might watch it, but we might not. So I just.
That's fair.
So, but if I know we're going to watch it, I can wait. It's not that big a deal. Plus, it's a bad movie, so I might as well just wait. I keep hearing it's a bad movie. Fuck, if I give it a 5, I'll be like, fuck me. I quit. But yeah, I'm giving it a 4 because it's an X-Men movie. Magneto takes this movie up a couple notches.
Okay. So
does James McAvoy. He does an amazing job. And I like how they kept talking about cutting his hair. That was funny. When he said he was going bald, that was fucking hilarious. And then he had the X-Men wheelchair, which was great. To be fair, Magneto and probably Azazel. And I didn't know Shaw was a real mutant. I thought he was just for the movie's sake. But maybe Shaw. No, let's go with those two. Magneto, besides Magneto and Azazel, I really didn't care to see any of the other X-Men. Like, Charles is cool, but whatever. Like, he's Charles, so, like, he can be there, fine. But, like...
But he doesn't need to be in the action.
He doesn't... Yeah, exactly. But, like, I want to see, good shit. Yeah. And I don't really care about Havoc. Don't care about Banshee. Don't care about Angel. I didn't know her name was Angel. I thought it should have been something else, but...
Yeah, they could have gotten some cooler... They could have gotten some cooler mutants in this movie.
Facts. To be fair, besides Days of Future Past, I don't think the mutants get better. In my opinion.
There's some cool ones in Apocalypse, if I remember right.
I don't think so.
I mean, you got Psylocke, Archangel.
I thought Psylocke was terrible in that movie. I thought Archangel was okay. I feel like he doesn't get to do enough. I don't remember. I only seen it once.
I don't remember it that well. I just remember that they're in the movie and that they're like generally like not lame characters, like at least in general.
Yeah.
And I think Storm's in that one too. So I mean, like the characters themselves are cool. Whether they get to do anything in the movie, we'll see.
That's also fair.
Well, I should say I'll remember because Gambit was in fucking X-Men Origins Wolverine, and that was shit.
I like Gambit.
Gambit
personally.
was better than that. And also Rogue. To be fair, Rogue deserved better than the X-Men.
Rogue was terrible.
Rogue deserved better than the X-Men.
Rogue has been the worst X-Men I've ever seen in my life. And I thought, not Colossus, what was the other guy's name? The Juggernaut. I thought he was a better mutant in 3 than Rogue was in 1, 2, and 3.
And he ain't even a mutant.
He ain't even a mutant. What is he?
In the movie, he is a mutant.
Oh.
In his actual like comic books, he is not a mutant. He's just a dude with the power of a magic gem.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. Either way, he was a better mutant than fucking Rogue. She couldn't fly.
For the purpose
she didn't have an accent.
Yeah.
She wasn't sexy.
She didn't say sugar.
She didn't. She
didn't talk like any designing woman.
You give me a sugar. Oh, that's a wrap for me.
Delta work.
I'm over here like what's his name on South Park? Stan. I'm out.
Oh, like Randy?
Randy.
Oh, God.
Give me a sugar. That's why I stopped watching the cartoon. I was like, okay, this is too much. Too much. I have a fiance now.
Oh, my.
Calm down.
Oh, my.
All right, with that being said, 3.5, 4. That's it for X-Men First Class.
I could push it to 3.75, but I'm going to keep it at 3.5,
okay.
I think.
I'm going to give it a 4 because of Magneto. Magneto and the whole Nazi thing. Him killing Nazis got a 5.
That's always going to be good.
All my dislikes got it down to a 4. I was a 5 from the jump. Listen, I like World War II movies, and I watch them, and I like killing Nazi movies. It sucks that we're in 2022 and we still have Nazis, though, to be fair. So sometimes I wish I was Eric Lyncher. But either way, Yeah, that's it for X-Men First Class. Next up is X-Men Days of Future Past. Then after that, we have Apocalypse. And then after that, we have Dark Phoenix.
Yep.
And then after that, possibly Logan. Because I'm still not set if I want to see it again.
Okay.
But we can watch.
Were we going to do the Deadpools?
Oh, shit. Yeah, Deadpool and then Logan. Both Deadpools, then Logan.
You just putting it off.
I can see. Oh, for sure. 100%. I really don't care.
Both Deadpools, then all the Jurassic movies.
Turtles.
Then all the Ninja Turtles.
We gotta see Turtles next.
Then.
Or should we do Jurassic next?
Then Bullet Train.
Yeah.
Then Thor. Then whatever we feel like doing
then Black
after
Panther
that.
2.
Then on the last episode we ever do the podcast, we do Logan. No, I'm kidding. I was kidding. We're not.
We didn't do it?
We're never ending. We're never ending. As long as movies exist.
Facts.
I can't promise you that either.
Should we do Jurassic Park movies before Jurassic World? Or
I don't think we're going to have time.
When's that come out?
As of this recording?
Yeah.
Like a week and a half.
Oh.
And we only did the first
Oh,
one.
okay.
There's 4 movies to get through before
well, like we talked about earlier, you gotta call off. No, I'm just I was like
I can't come into work. I'm watching dinosaurs chase Sam Neill around an island.
Sounds like a plan.
That'd be the third one.
Sorry. I did watch Jurassic Park 3.
I watched 2 and 3 within the last couple months.
I definitely watched 3 the other day.
Doesn't mean I'm not going to watch them again.
100%. It was so good. So good.
Come on.
Hey, tell your wife to shut up.
Dr. Grant doesn't think that's a good idea.
Dr. Grant. That was a great movie, by the way.
It caught a lot of shit.
I don't know why.
I think at one point I may have given it some shit. It's a good movie. To be fair, I don't think any of these Jurassic anything movies are like cinematic classics, like Scorsese level ones.
Can we talk about that?
I think the first one is probably my favorite movie of the ones. Like the first Jurassic Park is probably my favorite. I think it goes 1 then 3. Because 2's not bad at all. But pterodactyls, the Spinosaurus. I mean, even though the second one had Jeff Goldblum in spades, it's more about the dinosaurs.
Yeah, but 2 was good though.
2 was good.
I like 2.
None of them are bad.
I don't think 1, 2, or 3 are bad, but if I had to watch any of them, I'm watching 3 first.
Yeah, if you give me like if it's rank 1, 2, and 3, it's 1, 3, 2 for me.
That's fair.
I still really like 2 though.
2's so good.
Something's got to be at the bottom.
The cliff scene is the same, if not better, than the cliff scene with Sam Neill and that little boy in the tree. Like that's the only because they were coming off of
better.
Which one? X2 or
Lost World? Yeah, I'd give that
so
one a
much better.
Cliff scene.
I agree.
He gets eaten by those T-Rexes.
If we go back to the first episode we ever did, the only thing I disliked was the fact that the T-Rex came from land to land.
Yep.
And then when they went down, it was land
and
an 80-foot drop.
As soon as they jumped that fence, that T-Rex was like wearing some hover boots or some shit. You know?
I was like, yo.
T-Rex had a jetpack.
Ironically, as a kid, I didn't notice.
No.
But as an adult, I was like, this doesn't.
Yeah.
Something's not. Jurassic Park 1, for me, is largely boring because there's so much stuff in the beginning. So the ending, the raptor scene is the best scene. All the raptor scenes are the best.
I was going to say
scenes.
you have to be more specific.
That's
because
fair.
at a certain point, 2 was largely raptor scenes.
Yeah, I just meant first one. For the first one, all the raptor scenes are good. The kitchen, and then Samuel Jackson getting eaten. Those 2 scenes,
Off
great.
camera.
Here's the thing. That's it. The T-Rex scene is a classic scene of them running. Yeah, okay. They got away. Jeff wrote, go faster, go fast. Great. It's a great scene.
Let's go faster.
But X2, the raptor scene.
Raptors United.
In the fucking, the tall grass. Oh, talk about hurt my heart. Here's the thing. The chase scene for the first one is not as good as the T-Rex putting his head in the tent of Julianne Moore and the little girl. It freaked. I was like, oh my god, oh my god,
Get him.
how do we do this?
Get him.
And then, no, I didn't want her eaten. We had one.
Get
you know,
her.
Samuel Jackson died, so we got the little girl now.
I meant Julianne Moore.
Oh, yeah, she's
Killer.
okay.
Killer.
I like Julianne Moore for some odd reason, though.
I don't mind her in some roles, and in other ones, I'm like, I don't care about you.
Fair, but yeah. So 3, 2, 1,
Okay.
and it's not something that got to be last.
3, 2, 1, go.
Coin through the head. Either way, we should be done. All right. Join us next week. Follow us on all the things, and buy merch from somewhere. We don't have any,
Buy it from somebody.
but if we do, we could. But man,
I'm holding a Slushie Review pen right now.
gang.
You want it?
I broke the other one in the wash.
It's your
I didn't
pen.
know.
It's your pen to break.
I didn't want to. Either way, all right. This has been Keith,
And Chris.
and we're out of here. And I talk last.